Hey everybody, welcome to Icewater Yoga. My name is Joe Pace. Today's class, we're going to address the low back area. And before we even get started, the low back is a really tricky place. It's really where a lot of tension and stress culminates from the rest of our body. So you understand the whole back body from our heels all the way up the backs of our legs, up our low back and through our neck is really all connected and interconnected in some way. So tightness in the hamstrings often leads to tightness in the low back. Tightness in the hips honestly leads to tightness in the low back. So this class isn't meant to cure any back pain, really. It's just meant to stretch out muscles that are really specific in the low back. It should feel good. But if you do have low back pain, that's not something to be taken lightly. Definitely something to see a doctor about for sure. But these few stretches should feel good for anybody feeling just moderate tension in the low back, stuff that you just kind of want to stretch out a little bit to open up. So we'll start in a really basic pose. We'll start in a child's pose. So you'll take your knees wide, a little bit wider than your hips, and then you'll sit down towards your heels. So now we have our arms out in front of us. We'll take the hands long, out ahead of us, and then we'll bring the forehead to the mat. So gently resting the forehead against the mat, unlike me. I just want to make sure I have space so you can hear me through this microphone. You're reaching through both arms. You're drawing your hips down towards your heels. So you might already feel a nice, gentle opening in the low back. This is nice and easy and safe, and this is also a really great place to rest in any yoga class you ever take. Stretching out the back body, you'll feel, especially if you reach really far forward with the hands, a lot of length in both sides of the body. So outside of your shoulder, lats getting a nice stretch here. And again, we're starting to address the interconnectedness of every part of the low back. Tight lats are going to contribute to tight other things. So a nice stretch for the lats is a good call. So with the few movements we take here, make sure the heels and the butt, the relation between the two of them doesn't change. So we don't want our either hip to lift. We don't want either heel to be further away from our butt than it already is now. From that place, we take the hands over to the right, feel the left side of the body get a nice additional stretch from what we've already had in our regular child's pose. So reaching forward and away from us with the left hand, keep the left hip and the left sit bone drawing towards your left heel. Feel a nice stretch in the low back. Always an option to take the knees underneath your torso. So the adjustment would be knees in, rest the body weight on top of it, and then take the same exact position. Whatever you'd like, whatever feels good for your body, just want to make sure you know it's an option. From this place, direct your breath into your low back. Walking the hands back through center, we'll take it to the other side. So you're reaching up towards the front left corner of your mat with your right hand. Create length in the right side of your body. Your right sit bone drawing towards your right heel. Sitting gently down. Keep it nice and light in the right shoulder. You're not hyperextending or dislocating your right shoulder. Just keep it nice and light. You're still reaching. There's that reaching action while also drawing the right hip in line with the left hip. And again, drawing breath into your low back, knees wide if you'd like, knees under the torso if you'd like. Neither option is mandatory, or neither option is better than the other. It's just different. Find your breathing pattern. Slowly walk the hands back towards center. From this place, we're going to rock it forward to tabletop. We're going to take just 2 or 3 cat-cows. And if you don't know what those are, I'll explain them. So knees are right underneath your hips, hands directly underneath your shoulders, elbows extended. So nothing about this position changes. The only thing that changes in our cow pose is we lift our chest and lift our tailbone up towards the ceiling so there's a rounding in the back. And then we exhale, Press the mat away. Keep everything the same in the shoulders and the legs. Now we spread the shoulder blades. It's an upper back stretch, tailbone ducking, low back stretch. Inhale through cow pose, so all the way to this upper position. Full inhale. Exhale, press the mat away, cat pose. Inhale, one time. Exhale, cat. We're going to stay in this cat pose, so let's set it up. Tailbone drawing straight down to the mat. Feel the length across the whole back. From this place, your toes are tucked under. We're going to take the sit bones and the butt to the heels. So we're going to keep the cat in the upper back, sit back towards the heels. Nice and light. Feel the stretch in the back. Inhale forward. Keep the rounding in the back. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. It's just the sit bones towards heels, not necessarily sitting on them. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Last time here. Exhale. Inhale. Really nice. Okay. From here, we're going to roll it onto our backs. Okay. In this similar idea, we'll take wind removing pose. So hands to the knees, bend the knees up in towards your chest. If this doesn't feel accessible in your body, grab a strap or a belt, wrap it around your legs. Grab either side of the strap. From this place, we inhale, draw the knees up and away from us. Exhale, nose towards knees, hips lift, hug yourself into a little ball, hold. So now you're breathing here. Inhales will be a little tougher because the legs are pressing against the belly. But drawing the nose towards the knees, tailbone lifting towards the ceiling, feel the stretch in the low back. Okay, let's flow with this. Inhale, open. Exhale, fully close it off. Inhale, open. Exhale, feel your sit bones rising to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last time. Exhale, last time. Inhale, release, soles of feet to the floor. Last pose of the day, we're going to take the knees back in towards the chest. Few options here. You can grab palms towards shins, pull the knees up in towards your armpits or to the ground beneath your shoulders. If you feel like you've got it in you, not like you're going to force it, but if you've got the range of motion, grab the soles of feet towards the ceiling. You draw the knees down towards the mat, press the low back into the mat. All right, so this is a nice stretch for the inseam of the legs. Again, back to that point of everything being interconnected. This is a nice pose to keep the back and remind the back to stay flat and pressed against the mat while we do anything in our legs, while also opening special areas that contribute to the openness we feel in our low back. Okay, so any option here, knees bent and drawing towards your armpits, shoulders area, continuing to press the low back against the mat. Always the option to keep the heels closer to you, grabbing the shins and just pulling up gently while keeping the low body and the low back pressing against the mat. For 2. 1, gently release, grab your shins with your hands, slowly roll forward to back, rolling out your spine, trying to make it smooth like you're on a seesaw or a rocking horse. So curving in the back, rolling all the way up the low back, into the upper back, up to the low back, up to the upper back, and roll all the way to a sitting position. Nice and comfortable. So hopefully feeling a little bit more open, a little bit more spacious in the low back. That should feel pretty good. So nice short class, really specific. I really appreciate your time and your effort. Namaste.